Hey, lazy landlords. So I just had a conversation with a client and I honestly can't stop thinking about it. They just finished doing their taxes. They sat down with their accountant, went through all the numbers of the past year, and when he actually looked at how much interest he paid on the banks on his primary home mortgage, he was sick. Like physically sick. We're talking thousands and thousands of dollars gone straight to the bank and none of it hit his bank account. And then he said something that I keep hearing from landlords over and over again. Sylvia, I wish I had known about this years ago. So if you just did your taxes and and you're looking at the interest number on your home mortgage and feel that same punch in your gut, give me the next 5 to 6 minutes, because what I'm about to share with you is exactly what he wished somebody had told him a decade ago. Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia Ho, and I'm a financial landlord consultant. I work solely with landlords to help them save money, decrease the taxes that they pay the government, and cut the interest that they pay the banks. I'm also known as the cash damming queen. If you're watching my weekly trainings, please like, please comment, please love. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel because this will encourage me to make more of these training videos to save you money. So quick thing before I get into this is just to know whether this applies to you. So if you own a rental property or you have a basement suite, a rental suite in your home, and you live here in Canada, and you've got a mortgage on your primary home, the place that you actually live in, this is 100% for you. Now, if that's not your situation, hang out anyways, because I promise you, 2 or 3 landlords that you know can use this strategy. Now, I'm going to walk through a strategy called rental cash damming. And before anyone gets nervous, this is not a loophole. It's not sketchy. It's not aggressive tax planning. It's completely legal. CRA actually wrote the strategy on this over decades ago. Most landlords just have never heard about it because CRA is not going to promote this because they actually lose money on this. They lose money. They're actually going to pay you to be a landlord. Most accountants don't set up rental cash damming because honestly, it's outside of what they do day to day. Okay, so here's the thing that my client didn't know, and this is the part of that made him say, "Oh, I wish I knew about this earlier." When he looked at his tax returns, he saw 2 numbers. The interest on his rental property, the interest on his rental property mortgage. That's tax deductible. He gets to write it off his income taxes. That's great. And then he looked at the interest on his personal home, the place where he lives. It's not tax deductible. He cannot add that to his taxes to pay less income taxes. Not a penny of that interest on his personal home mortgage is deductible. In fact, Canada is actually one of the only countries where that's the case. Our American US neighbors, they get to write off their interest, but we don't on our primary home. Now, think about what that actually means. Every single month, you're paying your home mortgage with after tax dollars. That is the most expensive money you have. You earn that money. You pay taxes on it. And now you're giving that hard-earned money to the banks in the form of interest. And you get nothing back from CRA for it. That's the number that made my client absolutely sick. Because when you add it up over 10, 15, 20 years, it's not thousands of dollars. It's tens of thousands of dollars that you're losing to the banks in the form of interest. And this is the frustrating part. On the other side of his life, he's running a rental property business. He's collecting rental income. He's paying the property taxes on that rental property, the insurance, the repairs, the mortgage rental. Real money flowing through every single month. But that money was just flowing through. It wasn't doing anything extra for him. Rental cash damming is the bridge between those two worlds. It takes the money that you're already spending on your rental, money that's leaving your pocket anyways, and we reroute it to pay down your own personal mortgage. And at the same time, that money you use to cover the rental expenses becomes a brand new tax deductible interest. You don't spend an extra dollar by applying this strategy. It's the same income, the same expenses. You're just rearranging the way you are using your money through a smarter path. Now, let me show you what this actually looks like for this client. His personal mortgage is around $450,000. He brings in about $2,800 a month in rental income. And his rental expenses, his mortgage payments, property taxes, insurance, etc., is around $2,000. Before cash damming, last year, he paid like $18,000 in interest on his personal mortgage. 18 grand. None of it is tax deductible. That was a number that made him absolutely sick when his accountant showed him. Now, after we set up rental cash damming, that same $2,000 a month in rental expenses now goes towards wiping out his personal mortgage. So the same $2,800 a month that he gets from rental income is now going to wipe out his personal mortgage. And the money he uses to pay his expenses now becomes tax deductible because he's going to use a line of credit to pay for all the rental expenses. And the result? He's going to be mortgage free on his primary home 9 years later. He picks up somewhere between $6,000 to $8,000 a year in tax savings on top of that. 9 years, guys, 9 years, this landlord will get his life back. And it's not because he earned more money. It's not because he cut expenses. It's not because he didn't go on vacations. It's because of how his money was restructured. And that's exactly why he said, man, I wish I knew about this earlier. Because every year he didn't do this cost him some real money. And now he can see it black and white on his tax returns. All right, I know what some of you are thinking. You're like, well, Sylvia, if this strategy is so amazing, why has my accountant never told me about it? Pretty fair. 3 reasons why your accountant doesn't know about this. First of all, your accountants are there to file your income taxes. They're there to report what already happened. They're really in the business of restructuring your debt before it happens. So they're not in the business of restructuring your debt before it happens. That's a different thing altogether. Number 2, cash damming has to be set up in the proper way. You need a specific account structure. You can't be mixing personal debt with rental money. Every dollar must be traceable. If you do it sloppily, is that even a word? If you do a sloppy job at rental cash damming, CRA can actually deny all of your deductions. So a lot of people are actually scared of touching this strategy. And honestly, they should be, unless they're working with someone that knows what they're doing. Number 3, it's not for everyone. If you don't have a personal mortgage, there's nothing really to do. The purpose of rental cash damming is to get rid of your primary home mortgage years earlier than your current 25 or 30-year plan. If your rental is losing money, it doesn't help. But part of my job is actually telling you whether it's for you or whether it's not for you. So it's not a secret. It's just that nobody in your regular chain, like your banks, your accountants, your realtors, have specific expertise on rental cash damming. And that's where I, as a financial landlord consultant, fills in that gap. I literally do this all day long with all of my landlord clients. So here's what I want you to do. If you just did your taxes and you're looking at them right now and that interest number on your personal home mortgage is making you sick, don't just close that file, forget about it, and look at it another year. That's the I wish I knew earlier trap. That's how 10 years goes by and you did nothing. I am offering anybody who comments me below for a complimentary discovery call via Zoom. There's no pressure. It's just for me to tell you whether rental cash damming makes sense based on your numbers. I'll actually look at your numbers and your situation and tell you straight up whether you should do it or you shouldn't do it. If you would like a walkthrough on what rental cash damming means to you with your personal numbers, Comment me below and I'll DM you a direct link to my calendar. You're going to answer some questions and then we will chat via Zoom. This Zoom call is absolutely complimentary. It doesn't cost you anything, but now it gives you information. It gives you numbers that are to you personally so that you can understand, it's like, oh my goodness, should I be doing this? My name is Sylvia. My sole job is to save landlords money, to save them money via decreasing the taxes that they pay, decreasing the interest that they pay. I'm also known as the Cash Family Queen. Until next week, bye now.